The story begins with a spaceship where a man named Tom is busy with his work. He works on sending information from space to Earth, and he quickly tells his seniors that for the past few days, fireballs have been coming out of the sun very fast. While they are still talking, suddenly their connection gets disconnected, and Tom starts feeling danger because fireballs start falling quickly near him towards Earth, and Tom's spaceship also starts going down. After this incident, the scene shifts to a hilly area in England called Heatherfield, where we see Owen and his wife Jane, who are living in a small house. Like every day when Jane finishes breakfast and goes outside to get fresh air, she suddenly sees fireballs falling from the sky, which hit the ground and make a huge explosion. At that time, Owen, who is inside the house, also hears this sound and he runs towards Jane. Then Jane goes to the place where the fireball had fallen, but the whole area is completely destroyed, and all the birds have also died. Then suddenly Jane starts feeling unwell, and blood starts coming from her nose. At that moment, Owen also runs and reaches her, and he picks her up and takes her inside the house. But this time Jane starts behaving strangely and keeps pushing Owen away from herself. Owen tries his best to calm her down, but Jane's behavior becomes very different, like she is turning into a zombie. After that, the scene shifts again to the city of London, where people are busy in their daily routine like every day. Then we see a girl named Susan in a cafe who is working as a waitress. After handling all the customers, she takes a little rest. Among those customers, we also see a boy named Jim who is planning a trip with his friends. But suddenly, some fireballs also fall from the sky right in the middle of the city, which creates chaos everywhere. Then the group quickly starts running to the backside of the cafe, but one man there doesn't go to the back and instead watches people running through the glass window. The group quickly takes out their phones to call for help, but none of their phones have signal, which spreads even more fear among them. Then suddenly a bird crashes hard into the cafe's window and dies, and the man also, out of fear, steps back and stands with the group, but they have no idea what has happened outside. Then suddenly a woman stumbles into the cafe, and her face is completely black, and blood starts coming out of her mouth. Susan quickly runs to help her and gives her some water, but the woman is completely silent and doesn't say a single word. Then the group again tries to call for help, but there is no sign of any signal. Suddenly, a citywide alert alarm starts ringing, and Susan, out of fear, starts crying, but Jim comes to her and comforts her, saying everything will be okay. Then the cafe owner turns on the TV, and he calls the group to come and watch, where it is being shown on the news that no city is safe right now, and the people who are still alive should either stay inside their homes or find a safe place, because the situation outside is very bad. Then suddenly, the condition of the woman who had come inside starts getting worse. The group rushes to help her, but Jim sees another woman outside who has completely turned into a zombie. Jim quickly asks the cafe owner for the key so he can lock the door, but his friends say, maybe she needs help, we should help her. But Jim quickly takes the key and locks the door. Then, the woman inside also turns into a zombie, and she attacks the group, but one man there holds her tightly, and in the struggle, the zombie woman bites his hand. Out of pain, the man slams her hard into the wall, which kills her. On the other hand, the entire city starts getting destroyed, and the government tries its best to bring the situation under control. The group, out of fear, blocks the door using furniture, so nothing from outside can come in. But the zombies outside keep trying their best to get in. The man who was bitten also starts feeling unwell, and blood starts coming from his mouth and nose. The group realizes that he will also turn into a zombie, so the cafe owner quickly picks up a frying pan and hits him hard, making him fall to the ground. The group quickly escapes through the back door, but just a few seconds later, the man turns into a full zombie and gets up again and attacks the cafe owner. Meanwhile, the group runs through the city, trying to find a safe place, but the whole city is full of zombies. Then Susan tells everyone that she has a car and they can safely escape in it, so everyone starts heading toward that car. As the group reaches the parking lot, they see that some zombies are already there, and they are infecting another person. The group slowly moves toward the car, and just as they get inside, a zombie comes from behind, and it even has a baby zombie with it. Susan quickly turns off the car, thinking the zombies won't see them, but the zombie keeps trying to open the door for a long time. Out of fear, the others ask her to drive away, so Susan starts the car again and drives off, heading straight toward Heatherfield. Actually, Jim and Susan are both from Heatherfield, so they make a plan to go to their families. But halfway through, the car's tire gets punctured, and they don't have a spare tire, so everyone has to continue the journey on foot. After walking for a long time, the group reaches a place where they are surrounded by zombies from both sides. So the group quickly runs into a building, and Jim blocks the door with a wooden stick so they can buy some time to escape. But soon the zombies break through the door and start forcing their way in. The group quickly starts going upstairs using the stairs, and then a fireball comes at full speed and hits the building, which changes the entire structure of the building. Still, the group tries their best to keep going up. Suddenly, Susan and Jim fall behind the group, and a zombie grabs Susan's leg through a hole. But luckily, Jim is right behind her and saves her from the zombie. Just then, more zombies arrive, and the two of them quickly enter a nearby room. But inside that room, there is also a zombie holding a hammer. Jim quickly grabs the hammer from the zombie's hand and gives it to Susan, and both of them sneak out quietly from the room. Meanwhile, the rest of the group reaches the upper floor, where they safely enter another room. Soon, Jim and Susan also arrive, and seeing them alive makes everyone very happy. But their happiness doesn't last long, as the zombies reach the room and start trying to open the door. The group has no other option but to escape through the window, so they quickly begin climbing out one by one. But the zombies soon break the door and rush in, and one of them grabs Jim. The group does everything they can to save him, and luckily, they succeed. They pull Jim back toward them and quickly shut the window. Now, standing on the rooftop of the building, they can see that the whole city is destroyed in every direction. Jim says, "We should go back down to get out of here." But the other group members say, "We just escaped death and got up here. How can we go back down?" Jim replies, "We can't stay here either. We don't have food or water to survive until rescue arrives." Then one of the group members notices an open window and tells the group, "We can escape through here." So the group starts going out one by one through the window. But Susan still sees zombies roaming outside. So Jim decides that they will stay here tonight and start their journey again the next morning. So all the group members go to sleep there for the night. The next morning, as soon as one group member wakes up, he goes outside to check if the situation is safe or not. But suddenly, a zombie grabs his hand and bites him. His scream wakes up the rest of the group, and they run to save him. But the zombie fully bites him. As soon as the group pulls their friend away, the zombie tries to come inside to bite the other group members. But Jim quickly picks up a metal rod lying nearby and kills the zombie through the doorway. After that, the group tries to quietly leave the building with their injured friend. But as they reach the stairs, they see a lot of zombies gathered below, so the group goes back up to the rooftop. As soon as they reach the top, their friend's condition starts getting worse. Jim quickly searches for an escape route and finds a staircase going down. The group starts escaping through it, but their friend's health keeps getting worse, and he starts having trouble breathing. Jim, who was at the back, goes to help his friend, but by then, his friend has completely turned into a zombie and attacks Jim. Susan, who is still nearby, runs quickly and hits the zombie friend with the hammer, killing him on the spot. Then the group leaves the place and starts looking for another safe location to spend the night. Soon they see a hospital, and they take the elevator to go upstairs. As they reach the upper floor, they don't see any zombies at first and keep moving forward, but suddenly a zombie comes from the side and attacks, and it bites one group member's fingers. Jim quickly pulls the zombie back, and Susan hits it in the head with the hammer. But their friend is in a lot of pain. So Susan and Jim go alone to the upper floor, leaving the others in a room to make sure the upper floors are safe. But when they reach the top, they are shocked because the entire upper floor is destroyed. Meanwhile, Jim's friend, who is with his girlfriend Kate on the lower floor, tries to go upstairs with her help, but he falls to the ground, making a noise that attracts nearby zombies. The couple quickly hides under a bed so the zombies can't see them. At the same time, Jim and Susan find a doctor on the upper floor. They ask him for help, saying their friend is in danger and needs treatment, but the doctor says, "I can't come with you. There are too many zombies downstairs." Meanwhile, the couple quietly tries to move back upstairs, but the boyfriend's condition gets worse and blood starts coming out of his nose and mouth. He tells Kate to leave, but she refuses to leave him alone. So he pushes Kate out of the room, locking her out, and stays inside, turning fully into a zombie. Jim and Susan arrive just in time, and they take Kate with them. Then the group leaves the building and starts heading into the forest, thinking that maybe the city is no longer safe and the forest path might be safer. But after walking for a while, they hear zombie noises there too. So they start running, but suddenly Kate falls to the ground and gets left behind. While Susan and Jim are running fast, they hear Kate's screams. A zombie has attacked her. They run back toward her, but before they can reach, the zombie completely bites Kate. Jim kills the zombie quickly, but it's already too late because Kate has also turned into a zombie. Now Susan and Jim, filled with sadness, continue their journey alone. heading toward Heatherfield. After walking for a long time, Susan and Jim finally reach Susan's house, where they find only her younger sister Nicole. Susan asks her about their parents, but Nicole says she is the only one left alive. The rest have turned into zombies. Then the group gets into the car and heads toward Jim's house. When they arrive, they meet Jim's brother Owen, whom we saw at the beginning of the story. Owen becomes very happy to see his brother Jim and invites everyone inside. But after some time, Jim asks his brother about Jane, where she is, but Owen doesn't give any answer. Suddenly, an alarm outside the house starts ringing. It's the one Owen had set up to detect zombies, but luckily, it turns out to be only one zombie, and Owen quickly kills it. Later that evening, while the group is resting, we see Susan inside the bathroom, but she suddenly hears a sound from another room. She quickly goes to check and finds Jane tied up in that room. Just then, Owen also arrives and tells Susan to come eat, and then leaves from there. Later, when everyone is having dinner, Susan asks Owen, "Why have you kept Jane alive until now?" Owen replies, "Because Jane is not harming anyone. That's why I kept her alive." After hearing that, everyone feels a bit more assured, and they all go to sleep for the night. The next morning, when Owen wakes up and goes to check on Jane, he finds that she has broken the rope tied to her hand, and she suddenly attacks Owen, biting his hand. Meanwhile, Jim senses something strange. It feels like zombies are gathering outside, so he quickly wakes up everyone. When they look outside, they see that many zombies have surrounded the house from all sides. At that moment, Owen comes downstairs, but Jane has already freed herself completely and suddenly attacks the group. The group somehow manages to control her, and finally Owen, with a heavy heart, shoots Jane with a shotgun, and she dies right there. After that, Owen tells everyone to escape through the back route, but Jim refuses to leave his brother alone. Owen then tells Jim that he has already been infected, so he can't go with him. Even then, the group doesn't want to leave him behind, so Owen himself runs outside through the back, attracting the zombies toward him so that the group can escape. He fights hard and kills many zombies, but soon his gun runs out of bullets. At the same time, the group sees that the front path is clear, so they start running to escape. Meanwhile, the remaining zombies catch Owen and bite him from all sides. Jim, Susan, and Nicole run and finally reach a cemetery where there is an old church. They decide to spend the night there. As soon as they enter, they lock and seal the church doors from inside. But the zombies don't stop chasing them and arrive at the church as well. They start breaking the main door. At that moment, Jim tells Susan and Nicole to go up to the tower, while he himself tries to hold the door and stop the zombies. But the zombies are too many and break open the door, grabbing Jim. Jim somehow fights back and runs to the tower door, where Susan and Nicole are waiting for him. They quickly open the door, pull him inside, and lock it again. Nicole then tries to use a radio to call for help, but sadly no one responds. Seeing this, Susan starts crying, but his sister comforts him by saying that everything will be okay. Then the group sees many zombies coming from below, and they have no way to escape. They all get shocked and sad, and they get stuck there. And this is where the story ends. So friends, do Jim, Susan, and Nicole survive, or do they also turn into zombies? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this explanation, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next recap video. Until then, take care. Bye.